I've got somebody here from Barking via the website says, quote, I love your work. I'm a firefighter in Barking, but I'm currently driving an ambulance for the London Ambulance Service to help out during these difficult times, and I appreciate that. He goes on to say, I'm working out of Ilford Ambulance Depot at the moment, so I'll be around Redbridge and Havering over the weekend. I'd love to come and meet you if you're around. Please let me know. Great, I appreciate your comment. We were actually in Redbridge yesterday and Havering as well, but we're going to be doing loops around this city, so I'm going to post the schedule and hopefully we can see you as well. Another comment here, it continues. I would like to know what you do to plan for the London Fire Brigade, because at the moment we are staring down the barrel of 70 million pounds worth of cuts, which can only mean fire stations being closed, which will lead to increased response times and more fire deaths. I appreciate your comment. And the tragedy is this. The London mayor just recently cut the fire brigade budget by an additional 25 million pounds. In addition to defunding the police by 110 million pounds, this is not the thing to do when we're facing record knife crime levels, when we know the deficiencies we have in the fire brigades and some of the atrocious things that have happened in this city over the past few years. The London mayor has to pay attention to these services, and he's got to find creative ways to finance this city. That's the problem. The current mayor, all he knows is I'm going to raise your taxes, raise your congestion charges, and raise your fares. He hasn't thought about a creative way of raising money for this city. I have solutions for that. These are all detailed on my brianformayor.london page. Thank you for your comment. I've got Adam in Camden via the website that says, hi, Brian. I think we're neighbors. You're right. I live in the borough of Camden. You fully have my backing and support, brother. How will you invest in our London communities and families to build more resilience and unity within our communities? It's a great question. Our communities are being completely ignored right now. Their community centers are being shut down. You've got kids out there on the streets, and no wonder a lot of times crime entails. And we've got to find a way to invest in these community centers, and my solution is to bring corporate investment directly to our community centers. There's precedent of this in Acton with Jamal Edwards of SBTV getting a £100,000 donation from Google. If I was mayor of London, or when I'm mayor of London, I'm going to pick up the phone and I'm going to call the Amazons of the world. I'm going to call the Barclays of the world. I'm going to call the Googles of the world and say, guess what? You've done a lot of great business in London. It's time for you to give back. Let's make a deal. Let's talk about a win-win situation. That's what I do. For the past 30 years, I've cut deals. The problem with the current mayor is he's never run a business in his life, and he's a career politician. I don't think he understands these things. So I've got big plans for our communities, and I appreciate you as well. Instagram, I got Angus0 on Instagram. It says, I just missed you at the Oval. Sorry, Angus, I saw a bunch of people coming by. I must have missed you as well. I've got Marie Noor on Instagram saying, I'm proud of you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I got Turquoise Monarco on Instagram saying, you rock, Brian. If I lived in London, you'd have my vote. Thank you. I appreciate it. I've got Ali Dawa on YouTube saying, whoa, you look cool, man. I mean, look, this is pretty cool what we got set up here. We got the digitally enabled bus. I'm coming live from you while we drive around the boroughs of London. It is cool. I want to thank Lewisham for having us. I want to thank Suffolk for having us. I want to thank Redbridge and Havering for having us yesterday. We've been everywhere and we're going everywhere. I've got Non-Complaint on YouTube says, good luck, Brian. The system is rigged against you. United we stand, and I agree. There's clearly something political going here. They want us to stop campaigning because our ideas are a threat. Our unity is a threat. We are so strong together. I just posted yesterday and talked about our new sharing page on the brianformayor.london website. It's brianformayor.london/share. You can get videos and photos and posters, and you can go share them on social media. You can print out the posters. The only way we're going to change is if we do this together. I need your help. You're right, we're going up against a two-party system with tens of millions of pounds in financing, hundreds of years of history, and we're gonna have to do this together. So please help me share these videos, come to our website, share these assets, and make sure you vote on May 6th. If you're not registered, go to votefirst.london. It'll take you 5 minutes. Get registered to vote in this city. A couple of the comments, and I want to keep this moving. I got Lee Boyden on YouTube says, I wish we had a candidate like you in Leicester. Thank you, Lee. I think these ideas will travel around the UK and the world as well. I've got Big Lurks on Instagram saying, quote, will you implement mental health into discussion of public health? I already have. I've been talking about mental health for the past, 3 months, 6 months, honestly for the past 10 years with my show London Real. Mental health is crucial. Our government is ignoring it. I took a taxi home last night, Paul, a black cab operator, and he said, Brian, do you know how hard it is right now with what I do? I'm alone in a taxi all day. I do 1 or 2 fares. At home, I'm alone. He said, this is very difficult. And I said, Paul, I know how you feel. It's difficult for a lot of us. We've got no gyms. We've got no work. We've got no government plan. We've got to really talk about our mental health, and I will as well. I've got Joe Young 2020 on Instagram saying, you have my vote. Thank you, Joe. We got to make this happen May 6th. And I've got George Wild 17 on Instagram saying, quote, Sadiq Khan is already in for another bonus year. We need to get him out ASAP. We need someone like Brian who will invest in London's police and keep us safe. And George, you make a great point. The mayor has been unelected for a year. Unelected. Last time I checked, in a democracy, that should never happen because he postponed the elections. He shouldn't even be there making these decisions. Let's make sure that doesn't happen again. We've got to have free and fair elections May 6th. You've got to allow parties to campaign, and I encourage all parties to get out there right now and campaign and join me in finding a way to do this in a COVID-safe way, and that's what we're doing here.